Good morning and welcome back, everybody. Andy Curtis filling in once again here at the weather station, and not as dire a start today. No real snow flurries or snowstorms blowing through the state, so we'll take that as a win to start the morning. Nothing really in the area to speak of either, except for up here. You can see coming down from Canada, a little bit of snow right under all of our graphics. That'll be making an appearance here in the Treasure State sometime tomorrow, probably conveniently right when you're out trick-or-treating with the kids, so please prepare for that, and I'll go in a little more depth into that whole situation here coming up in a second. Roads are clear-ish. Now, there might not be any snow coming from the sky, but there's definitely snow coming from across the road because there's good amounts of wind across the state, as usual, 15 miles per hour in some areas, 10 to 12, in the low 10 to 15 mile per hour range is what we're experiencing right now for the most part. That means blowing it across the roadways, especially on I-15 north of Great Falls. So pay attention to that if you're out going any distance. It could make for driving conditions to be a little trickier than what we could be expecting. But up on Mac Pass, always something to be concerned about. Some ice it looks like up here, but snow blowing across the roads and the passes, and like I said, above Great Falls and I-15 is what we should be paying attention to if you're going any long distances. Now, what we're paying attention to in the capital city, that temperature 4 degrees right now, but it's feeling like 4. That's a nice change of pace. Not the case, though, up in Great Falls. It's technically a little bit warmer. I say that technically 12 degrees on the thermometer, but it sure doesn't feel like 12 degrees. Feels like 5 below, and there's that wind I was talking about, 17 miles per hour, a big reason that it feels below zero up in the Great Falls area. Temperatures around the state very similar as usual, 14 up in Havre, 16 in Cutbank, 3 below in Lewistown, 13 below in Bozeman right now, and it feels even worse. Let's visit our friend the wind chill, 15 in Lewistown, 2 below in Havre, Cutbank, 1 below. So yeah, it's cold out there. Yeah, there's no breaking news on that. It's been cold. It's going to continue to be cold. We should be seeing temperatures in the 50s for high at this time of the year. And we probably won't come even close to that as we head into the week. Speaking of heading into the week, let's look into the future tracker. Clear skies for the rest of today, like I was saying. It's clear-ish, no snow coming from the heavens, but we do have some clouds moving through the area, good amount of wind. Thursday, though, that wind, that cold front bringing in down from Canada, we're going to be seeing snow in the area in the afternoon up along the High Line. And then once we get to the trick-or-treating times, I believe 6:15 is when sun is setting, and it gets dark around 6:45. Also important times to remember if you're going out hunting at all. Thursday evening, 7 o'clock, a good amount of snowfall in the central part of the state, north central, pretty much everywhere in Montana. We're going to be seeing some snow Thursday night into Friday morning, early afternoon. But as we get into Friday evening, things should start to clear up. A real quick look at our forecast. Temperatures are going to be in the low 30s, high 20s. There's that cold front moving through the area, a good amount of wind. And the 7-day forecast in the Electric City, 32 for the high up there, 35 for tomorrow. And remember, snow, wind, later part of the afternoon, right when it's prime time for some candy gathering. And we can get back up into the 40s Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday into Monday, an excellent chance, almost 100% chance of rain and snow mixtures, mostly snow because of that temperature. Sunday night into Monday, and then a quick look at the capital city, 28 for the high today, like I was mentioning, and 36, snow, rain, well, not rain. I keep saying rain because I'm optimistic. I want temperatures to be above freezing, but they won't be, so we're going to see snow and wind blowing in. Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. That'll stick around into Friday, and then coming back the weekend. So right now, the forecast for tomorrow is going to be cold. So bundle up, wear a jacket over that costume. Curtis will have more on that coming up tonight and on KTVH.com.
All right, Andy, thanks for that. Well, October, besides just being cold, is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and Great Falls College, MSU, is offering free cybersecurity checks to students, faculty, and the public. MTN's Matt Hosaffel stopped by the college to get some cybersecurity safety tips.
Everybody should be aware.
Today through Halloween, Great Falls College is offering free cybersecurity checks on phones, laptops, tablets, and other devices.
So we're just going to do a simple check using a Microsoft malicious antivirus checker that is done individually. It's not actually running on the computer. It's just done through a application just to verify that if they have any malicious software running on their computer, that we can actually let them know and hopefully provide them a way to mitigate that.
Chris says that even if you take precautions like installing antivirus software, you could still be at risk. Public Wi-Fi networks are often the biggest culprit.
If a good person can use it, who's to stop a bad person from using it? It's just like going out to a public pool. Yeah, again, with that analogy, if everyone's jumping in there, yeah, you might be all clean, but someone could be, got the flu, and now all that stuff is infected. And then you could get infected, everyone else can get infected. So that's the thing, is that when you have public Wi-Fi, it should be treated as public.
The National Initiative for Cybersecurity Careers and Studies is using the slogan, "Own it, secure it, protect it," for this year's National Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Well, first you own it, so you have to take responsibility, right? You need to understand what those threats are and take responsibility for making sure that you don't actually make that worse. Secure it. So that's part of it, making sure it's secure. What does that mean? Making sure that I have a good antivirus software on my computer.
And with technology likely getting even more advanced in the future, cybersecurity is as important as ever.
I think it's important, and again, going on to the point that I made, technology is the future. We cannot get away from it.
In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
Following a national trend, Montana is facing an increase in cases of gonorrhea and syphilis. In 2019 alone, that number has risen by 27%. According to Dr. Tandy Baumgartner, even expecting mothers can put their babies at risk if they fail to get tested for an STD. Pregnant women with an undiagnosed case of syphilis or gonorrhea can face health complications, including miscarriage, stillbirth, preterm delivery, fetal death, or congenital syphilis.
So it's really important that women in pregnancy get tested. And one of the important things to remember is that syphilis and gonorrhea are very easily treated with an antibiotic.
Dr. Baumgartner says when it comes to STDs, it's much easier to treat early on than down the road. She recommends anyone who's sexually active be tested by a medical professional. Coming up, attention travelers, will tell you about another chance to get TSA pre-check at the Helena Airport.
And now, Daybreak continues.
Welcome back. The Helena Regional Airport will give travelers another chance this year to sign up for the TSA PreCheck program. The airport will host an enrollment event from December 2nd to December 6th. PreCheck is an expedited security screening program. It costs $85 to sign up for 5 years. The airport's TSA checkpoint started offering a dedicated lane for PreCheck passengers earlier this year. There was a week-long enrollment event in May, and it was extended an extra week because of strong demand. About 700 people signed up. Boeing CEO apologized Tuesday to family members of victims that died in last year's 2 737 MAX crashes. Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg appeared before the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, providing an update on the aircraft following the 2 crashes that killed 346 people. Lawmakers asked him about how the planes were designed, certified by regulators, and marketed to airlines around the world as a fuel-efficient addition that didn't require time-consuming training for pilots. Boeing CEO began his testimony by apologizing to victims' family members, some of whom were on hand with photos of their loved ones.
On behalf of myself and the Boeing Company, we are sorry, deeply and truly sorry.
Boeing can also expect a criminal investigation by the Justice Department into the faulty stabilization systems linked to those crashes. Yellowstone National Park is seeking feedback on plans to replace the Yellowstone River Bridge. The bridge is located on the northeast entrance road near Tower Junction. It was built in the 1960s and is part of the only road corridor that is open year-round. Its concrete deck, sidewalks, and the low wall along the bridge have deteriorated. The park has 3 options. They include constructing a new, larger bridge about 500 feet south of the current one, building a new bridge adjacent to the current one on the north side, or simply taking no action at all. An environmental assessment is expected to be completed in the spring, and a decision on the project could be made by next summer.
Well, there's a shocker for everyone. It's cold out there again today, and it will continue to be cold as we head into tonight. Temperatures right now across the state, 12 degrees in Great Falls. It doesn't feel like that, though, with the wind chill. 16 degrees in Cut Bank, Havre 14. Helena clocking in at 4 degrees. But yeah, it feels a lot colder out there with a little bit of wind mixed into the forecast. We can see the temperature is going to skyrocket, though, today to 28 degrees for the high in Helena, 32 in Great Falls, 35 in Cut Bank, up along the High Line as well, 36 in Havre. And here's tomorrow's trick-or-treating forecast. This is not a trick, but it is not a treat, that is, but it isn't a trick either. You know what I'm saying. It's early. I'll redo this again later. 35 degrees in Great Falls is what we can expect tomorrow. 36 in Helena. That's snow moving into the area late afternoon, early evening, but it should be out of here on Friday. 36 for the high in Helena, 33 in Great Falls. Just enough time to get outside before snow comes back into the forecast Sunday into Monday. I'll talk more about that coming up.
Still ahead, we'll show you the Halloween costume contest, unlike most others. But first, here's a look at what's coming up this morning on Court TV.
I'm Ted Rowlands. Coming up today on Court TV, our crews are live in Wisconsin for the killer girlfriend murder trial. Ezra McCandless is accused of killing her ex-lover in the backseat of her car. She claims it was self-defense. The defense case is winding down, but have they planted enough seeds of reasonable doubt to sway jurors? We'll break down all the biggest moments of the trial. You can see it all only on Court TV.
Watch Court TV on KTVH Channel 12.4 and KTGF Channel 50.3. You're watching Daybreak.
It was a costume party for the babies of St. Luke's Hospital of Kansas City Neonatal Unit Tuesday. The hospital held their Halloween costume party for all their preemie patients. This is the third year for the event, with the March of Dimes helping organize it. Volunteers and coordinators say they love helping families.
It's one more thing they don't have to miss out on. It's another milestone that, they didn't expect to find themselves in the hospital during, and it's still important that they get to celebrate that baby's first Halloween.
The costume party includes photographers taking pictures of the babies. Also, all the volunteers who helped are former NICU parents. If you're still planning your costume, got a little bit of time here, maybe do layers.
Yeah, anything that has a jacket incorporated into it I think is probably a good idea, because it's going to be another cold one tomorrow. We're going to get up to 28 degrees today. Skies should be fairly clear, partly sunny, but tomorrow the temperature will be 36. That'll drop as the sun sets. But we're going to expect some snow moving into the area late afternoon, early evening, so prime trick-or-treating time. Around 6:15, I think the sun sets, so that's pretty much when that snow is going to be rolling in, maybe even a little earlier. In the Helena area, that'll carry over into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures will go up, but that snow will be moving back into the forecast. Then real quick look at Great Falls, similar situation. Snow moving in earlier in the afternoon tomorrow. So yes, incorporate jackets, hats, and gloves into whatever spooky costume you got planned.
All right, thanks, Andy. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll explain the program helping veterans overcome abandoning their religious beliefs. There's more to come when Daybreak continues. Stay with us. Now at 6:30, as temperatures plunge, local shelters are turning to the community for help to keep people out of the freezing cold.
Yeah, it's scary.
Plus, the steps you should take now to prevent your home from looking like this. And later, Helena firefighters are on the way to help in California.
We want to help our neighbors. We want to be a part of the wildland world.
What officials now believe caused one of the big blazes in the state.
This is Daybreak.
Hey, good morning and thanks for joining us for Daybreak. It is Wednesday, October 30th. I'm Jacob Fuhrer alongside Andy Curtis. And yes, no surprise at this point, it's a little cold out there.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Cold is a good way to put it. I had some other colorful words for the temperatures
Keep it
outside.
clean.
But yeah, I'll keep it online.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at how things on the Doppler network are looking. They're always looking good. Clear skies across the state. That means no snow in the immediate forecast, but there's snow in the forecast for tomorrow. timely snow right as we're going to be out trick-or-treating. Temperatures across the state, like Jacob just said, they're cold. 12 degrees in Great Falls, 16 in Cut Bank, Havre 14, 4 in the Helena area. That's nothing, though, compared to what we were seeing yesterday. Cold highs, record cold highs in 4 towns in our great state. Stanford, Dillon, Belgrade, and Townsend all beat records set previously in 1991. Records I'm sure they're not too proud of. Trick-or-treat forecast, though, here's the important stuff. Here's the reason you're tuning in. Tomorrow, sunset 6:13, temperatures dropping well before that. We're going to be in the 30s, 35 for the high around 4 o'clock, and snow moving in late afternoon, early evening. So bundle up when you head out hitting up those houses for candy. I'll have more on the forecast coming up.
When the temperatures do dip below zero, Helena's emergency homeless shelter must work harder to help an influx of people and make ends meet. And early snowstorms and freezing cold mean they'll likely need more community assistance this year. MTN's Evelyn Schultz reports.
Living on the streets is hard enough. When it's this cold outside, that life is even harder.
And I was out in the street for about a week with the wind and the rain. It is hard. It's hard. It's terrifying.
It really honestly just uses up everything we have.
At God's Love in Helena, workers are already feeling the pinch, and it's not yet winter.
The summer, for a while there wasn't that hot, so our resources were still getting used up. And then this winter, it started so early.
Tuesday night, office manager Rachel Saunders estimates 40 to 45 people will call God's Love home.
Last winter we had our numbers double for the majority and then sometimes triple in the amount of people we helped. All of our utilities, they go up.
Donations of all kinds, from hats and coats to cleaning supplies, will help keep people safe and healthy this season. Those donations also provide hope for people like Kelly, who's been living off the streets for about a week.
Because I didn't, know that there was a future for me being as, it's scary. I'm very grateful, God's Love.
That was Evelyn Schultz reporting. And as things do get colder, the chances for your pipes to freeze increase. That is, unless you take some preventative steps now. Hopefully you haven't seen anything like this in your home. The Bozeman Water and Sewer Division says property damage like this can happen when pipes burst, ruining your floors, carpets, even walls and electrical fixtures. So the department is reminding everyone there are ways to prevent it. Make sure heat can get to your pipes and remove anything that could be blocking them off. Also, make sure any heat tape is plugged in, and closing vents to your crawl space can help make a difference.
I think everybody's experience that this cold has come a little bit sooner than we had anticipated, but it's Montana. Definitely this is a preventable thing, but if you can't prevent it, there are ways in which you can kind of troubleshoot it and thaw it yourself.
The assistant superintendent of the department also says using a blow dryer and knowing how to turn off your water can also help as home remedies for frozen pipes. Turning now to fire watch in California, firefighters are bracing for more dangerous winds expected this morning as fires continue to rage throughout the state. In Sonoma County, the Kincaid fire has scorched more than 75,000 acres, at least 124 homes and buildings reduced to rubble. The focus now on another round of dangerous winds. In Northern California, gusts up to 65 miles per hour are expected. Down south, winds could get as high as 80 miles an hour, where the Getty fire continues to rage. That fire now believed to have been caused by a tree branch that fell on power lines, causing sparks. Those fires in California now affecting people right here in Helena. 2 City of Helena fire crews were requested to join in the efforts to get these California fires under control. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian was at the fire station Tuesday when crews deployed and has more.
On Tuesday morning, the Helena Fire Department got to work, packing up 2 wildland fire trucks for a 2-week deployment to California.
We have a lot of hand tools, some smaller hoses, a couple backpack pumps with water, and a chainsaw, some of the other tools we may need.
Lieutenant Owen Keppen is one of 6 firefighters Helena is sending to assist with the wildfire response in California. It's his first time deploying out of state with the department.
Up in Montana, we get a lot of resources from out of state when we need them in the summer, so it's kind of a way that we can get down there and kind of help pay them back.
The governor's office approves sending Montana firefighters to California as part of EMAC, a nationwide mutual aid system. Montana Disaster and Emergency Services helped organize the support. Helena Fire Department leaders say this is the first time they've made this kind of commitment through EMAC.
We want to help our neighbors. We want to be a part of the wildland world and assist our neighbors and get more experience for our guys and just be bigger players in the industry. So that's what we're trying to do.
It will take 2 days for the crews to reach California. They won't know specifically what their assignment will be until then. Assistant Chief Mike Chambers says other firefighters will step in to make sure the response in Helena isn't affected while these crews are gone.
So we've asked the rest of the organization to step up and backfill and pull some overtime and do what's needed to be done to make sure that we can do this deployment. So it's truly a whole organization commitment, and I just couldn't be prouder of our guys stepping up to take this on.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Whitefish and Big Fork Fire Departments will also be sending firefighters to California. 3 Whitefish firefighters and a wildland fire truck left early yesterday morning. These photos are from the department's Facebook page, where many community members are wishing them safe travels and good luck. The University of Providence and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs are putting on a free event called the Community Clergy Training Program. Organizers say the idea is to help veterans overcome abandoning their religious beliefs. Chair of Veteran Resources Steve Lynch says it's something that he sees all too often, and he wanted to help.
The veterans coming home, 70% of combat veterans who come home leave their faith because they are challenged with their experiences at war and how to integrate that with their faith. Sometimes that's a conflict.
For more information on the event, you can check out our website for a link. Still to come this morning on Daybreak, doctors at the hospital in Shelby are calling for the CEO to resign. We'll explain why.
And no tricks or, sadly, treats. I'll have your Halloween forecast coming up next.
Time now for your Storm Tracker weather.
Good morning, everybody, and once again, thanks for waking up with us today. Andy Curtis filling in one more time for you here in the weather station, and we've got a clear one across the state. Clear meaning that there's no snow falling from the sky at this particular moment, which is a good thing, but it also won't be the story for the entire week. Things are happening up to the north of us. Can't really see it right now. Just a little bit of snow under the word snow, conveniently placed, of course, up there. That'll be moving down into our state tomorrow, just in time for trick-or-treating. I'll talk about that here in a couple of seconds. But let's look at the roads out there. Mac Pass, No snow falling from the sky, but we do have a good amount of wind across the state. 15 miles per hour in some spots, not so much in the Helena Valley, but it is blowing snow across Mac Pass. Mac Pass is always something you have to pay attention to. You have to plan ahead for when you're driving, especially early in the morning during the winter months that we have like this. So be careful, take extra time if you're going up over there. And also, if you happen to be heading north on I-15, north of Great Falls, good amount of snow is being blown across the road there as well. So give yourself plenty of time if you're going anywhere this morning. Temperatures in the capital area, 4 degrees right now, pretty calm, so not too bad. So that means it's feeling like 4 degrees. Not the case up near the Electric City, though. Temperatures technically are warmer. 12 degrees is what it's clocking in at, but it doesn't feel like that. 5 below zero is the feels like temperature around the Electric City, and farther across the state. Another cold one, yeah, broken record, I know, another cold start to our day. Wind as well, 17 miles per hour, like I was just mentioning, blowing snow across a lot of the roadways heading north of Great Falls up along the High Line, especially I-15. So temperatures across the state, like I said, we're in the low teens, 14 up in Havre, 16 in Cut Bank. Helena, like we just saw, was 4 degrees, 3 below in Lewistown. And it's even colder when you go outside. You feel it out there with that wind chill. 15 below Lewistown, 2 below in Havre, 1 below up in Cut Bank. So we are in the negatives across the state with that wind chill. No surprise, though, of course. What is kind of a surprise at the moment is that there's no snow falling from the sky. Should be like that for the rest of the day. We got some clouds moving in. We'll be seeing that tonight. Fairly calm, though, the breeze, but nothing like the 30-mile-per-hour winds we've been seeing the first couple of days of this week, but still windy, and that wind's going to be blowing in some snow Thursday, and like I mentioned, late afternoon, early evening, right about the time we're going to be heading out trick-or-treating. Earlier, of course, up north along the High Line, Havre, 2:30, you can see hitting Havre, Cut Bank, parts of northern Lewis and Clark County, south of Cascade County, but it really is going to pick up later in the afternoon. 7:30, you can see a good chunk of the center part of our state. We'll be getting some good snowfall. That's going to carry over into Friday morning. But as we get into Friday afternoon, things should start to clear up a little bit as we head into the weekend. Saturday should be okay. Again, it's a few days from now, and things do change pretty quickly here. But Saturday not looking too bad at the moment. So today's forecast going to be windy, going to be cold. Tomorrow's Halloween spooky forecast. Oh, look at that snow moving in with temperatures in the low to mid 30s. And then Friday, we're going to get a little bit of a degree bump, 36 in Helena, 33 in Great Falls with some clearer skies. But the weekend, Sunday into Monday, forecaster Asia Ray was helping me finalize this, and we've got a good amount of snow coming in as to counteract that daylight savings time. All the good emotions we'll be feeling with that extra sleep will be just dashed when we see that snow carrying over into Monday. A good shot of that in the Helena area, Capital City, surrounding areas up in Great Falls, similar situation. We're going to be in the 40s, set those clocks back Saturday and the Sunday, but then that snow is going to roll in and set up shop, get real comfortable, and well, we'll be back to business as usual, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. All right, thanks, Andy.